Welcome viewers. In this session, we will discuss uh, AWS Supply Chain, which is actually one of the key business application which is introduced by AWS, the Amazon Web Service, the leading cloud provider. So we will discuss what is AWS Supply Chain. We know that supply chain is very key component in the industry. So AWS Supply Chain is a cloud-based application which actually unifies data, provides machine learning based powered actionable insights, and in a built-in contextual collaboration and demand planning. So using this supply chain, you can connect to your existing enterprise resource planning or ERP and supply chain management system without the upfront licensing fee or long-term commitments. So this is a key benefits and key feature of business application. If you go to the next slide, the benefits, what are the key benefits we are using AWS supply chain? First of all, you can gain visibility across your supply chain without re-platform, upfront licensing fee or long-term any commitments. Secondly, you can make decisions with machine learning powered actionable insights. So you know that what is the stock condition, everything. And third benefit, you can reduce the error by contextual chat and messaging system, so can quickly resolve any issues. And fourth benefit, you can mitigate the overstock and stock out risks to improve the customer experience, and while you can lowering the excess inventory cost. So if we go through the how it basically works, we see the left hand side, the data is sources. What are the data sources? We see that ERP, supply chain management point solution, other data streams. So it comes to AWS supply chain, and it is actually ML powered, which means basically machine learning powered supply chain management application. So it basically what it does, it automated the data transformation, and it comes to supply chain tune data lake, and upon this you can go the insights collaboration, vendor lead time prediction, and finally your demand planning. So this is how the AWS supply chain works in the backend. See, if we see the next slide, like the features, if we discuss the key features of AWS supply chain, first point is supply chain data lake. So using this setup, you can, data lake, you can model the ML models for supply chain to understand, extract, and transform the uniform data model. So data lake can ingest your data from various data sources, including your existing ERP system, such as S4HANA or supply chain management system. And it uses ML and natural language processing or NLP to associate data from source system to the unified data model. So if we go to the next figure, that this is the how the data lake is work, the Amazon S3, and here you see that how the data lake is working. What are the non-transactional data, and the like inventory outbound. So this is the view you can get using the data lake part. If we go to the next part, that the real-time visual map, basically it contextualizes your data in a real-time visual map, which is an interactive visual and user interface into a micro front-end or MFA architecture. So it highlights your current inventory selection and quantity, whether the inventory is at risk or a stock out. So inventory managers can drill down what is the current inventory situation in hand or any potential risk in each location. If we go to the next figure, you see that here the green marks means balance. That means this part inventory is okay. Red part is basically stock out. That means no materials are not there, or excess stock. Some of the cases excess stock. So you can visualize the insights. So what is on hand, whether in transit or projected inventory, whatever. Moving to the next part, the insights part. So basically, you with the insights, you can get potential in supply chain risk. For example, overstock is there or a stock outs, using the comprehensive supply chain data in the data lake and surface them in the real-time visual map. So built on AWS supply chain applies the ML models, machine learning models built on technology, what Amazon basically uses to generate more accurate vendor lead time predictions. So basically you can get some more insight for the vendor perspective. So inventory managers, demand planners, or supply chain leaders can also create their own insight watch list using this. So you can get the stock out or excess stock risk or whatever threshold. So here is the picture here. So you can get like red mark is it will be like stock out in 6 days or stock out risk in 6 days or XX risk or whatever. So inside you can get the view which of the component it is stock out risk or any of the particular is excess might be. So you can get either a stock out in how many days. So that part you can get using the insight feature. And then the recommended action and collaboration. So this is important. So based on the insight, we can rank, evaluate the situation, how the rebalancing situation can be done by inventory managers and planners with the recommended actions to take if a risk is detected. So recommendation options are scored by the percent of risk involved or resolved, the distance between the facilities and the sustainable impact. So supply chain managers can also drill down to review the impact. So each option distribution center across the network. So if we see the next diagram here, here the top one is we see that particular component that is red mark. That means it is a stock out in next 6 days, right? So how can we get this figure if we more visibility here? I'm just sharing one part here. So this is the AWS console. So here is the diagram which we are predicting here, the recommended actions. If we enlarge the system here, this is the part here. So recommended actions, you can easily how can you do the rebalancing part here. So moving to the side here. So recommended actions, you can rebalance the situation. Like you see that one of the component is 930 and another component is 7400. So you can get 3000 for the bottom part portion. So that it is reduced to 3000. So eventually the two components are rebalanced using this scenario. So the recommended action you can get here. And finally, the demand planning. So it is you can get more accurate demand forecasts. So you can adjust to the market conditions and empowers demand planners to collaborate across teams to help avoid excess inventory cost and waste. So these using AWS supply chain demand planning also continually learns from changing demand patterns and user inputs to offer near real-time forecast update. Like here you see the demand units, each day it is forecasting how much the each unit demand is across the particular duration. So this is an interesting part for AWS supply chain. So using the eventually in the AWS supply chain, if you go to the console, so this is actually you can use this part. And overly console it is clearly mentioned that what is the AWS supply chain. So it's a dynamic AWS solution which can connect and extract inventory, supply and demand related data from different supply chain system. So from using unified data model you can get. The other parts we can discuss further in another session, that more details how to create AWS supply chain instance. But overall, if you go to that part, because some pricing factor is there. So you have to define instance and everything here. So AWS key, KMS key needs to be then so that you can get the configuration part. So we will go through this part in another session. So hopefully you just get a good insight idea for the AWS supply chain, how the AWS is collaborating all the different business applications, considering the industry trend. Hopefully you enjoyed the session, and more session will come up for you. Thanks for watching.